Welcome back to Lit Lounge. Today, we are exploring an influential concept in literary criticism, the Touchstone method. This method, introduced by the renowned Victorian poet and critic Matthew Arnold, has left a lasting impact on how we evaluate literary work. Let's dive into what it is, the touchstones Arnold himself suggested, and see some examples in action. Matthew Arnold was a poet, cultural critic, and a key figure in the 19th century literary criticism. He believed that literature should be judged by comparing it to the finest works of the past. This approach is known as the Touchstone method. In his work, Essays in Criticism, Arnold argued that critics and readers should use great passages from classical literature as a touchstone or standard to determine the value of other works. If a piece of literature evokes the same profound response as these exemplary works, it can be considered truly great. Just like a touchstone is used to testify the purity of gold, Arnold's method uses the most admired literature as a benchmark for quality. Matthew Arnold suggested specific passages from classical works as touchstones. These included lines from Homer's The Iliad, such as Achilles' wrath to Greece, the direful spring of woes unnumbered. Another example was from Dante's The Divine Comedy with its deep, resonant lines like, "In his will is our peace." Arnold also cited Shakespeare, particularly moments of profound insight like the line from Hamlet, "To be or not to be, that is the question." These passages, Arnold believed, captured the highest standards of poetic beauty and intellectual depth. If a modern work could stir readers in the same way these passages did, it passed the touchstone test. Imagine reading a contemporary play and comparing its themes and emotional impact to Shakespeare's King Lear. If it evokes the same profound sense of tragedy and human frailty, then it holds up under Arnold's method. How sharper than a serpent's tooth it is to have a thankless child. Lines like these exemplify Arnold's idea of touchstone, where emotion, language, and insight combine to create an unforgettable impact. In poetry, Arnold might suggest comparing modern verses with lines from John Milton's Paradise Lost, such as, "Hail, holy light, offspring of heaven first born." The grandeur of these words and their thematic depth set a standard for poets who came after. The touchstones Arnold championed are timeless because they resonate with universal themes, powerful language, and an ability to evoke deep reflection. By using these examples, we can better understand and evaluate the literary works of our own time. Of course, some critics argue that the touchstone method may be too subjective or overlook modern innovation. While it values classical standards, it may sometimes fail to recognize new styles or cultural shifts. Despite its limitations, Arnold's method remains a valuable way to explore what makes literature powerful and timeless. Thanks for joining me as we explored Matthew Arnold's Touchstone method and its key examples. If you enjoyed this journey into literary criticism, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to Lit Lounge. Until next time, keep reading and discovering.